Hey there, history buffs. Get ready to have your mind blown with these 10 bizarre history facts you probably never knew. We're about to dive deep into the annals of history and uncover some truly strange and unbelievable events, from epic battles against birds to stolen buckets causing wars. The past is full of surprises, so buckle up and get ready for a wild ride through history's weirdest moments. Alright, let's kick things off with a war that sounds like it came straight out of a Monty Python sketch, the Great Emu War of 1932. Picture this. Australia, fresh off World War I, facing a new enemy, emus. That's right, giant, flightless birds. These emus were causing chaos, destroying crops. The solution? Send in troops with machine guns. The emus proved surprisingly resilient. They were too fast, too cunning. The result? The emus won. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. From one unbelievable war to another, this time featuring the infamous Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who conquered nations but couldn't quite conquer a horde of fluffy bunnies. Napoleon organized a rabbit hunt for his men, a grand display of power. But instead of wild rabbits, they gathered thousands of domesticated bunnies. When released, the bunnies charged straight at Napoleon and his men. The great military strategist, fleeing from a horde of bunnies. Even the mightiest can be humbled by the smallest of creatures. Let's move on from war stories to something a little more mysterious. In 2013, archaeologists in France stumbled upon a remarkable discovery: a perfectly preserved lead coffin from the 17th century. Inside lay the body of Louise de Quengo, a noblewoman, her face serene, her body seemingly untouched by time. But that wasn't the most astonishing part. When scientists examined the body, they found something truly incredible. Her heart was still soft. Not just intact, but soft and filled with a liquid, as if it had stopped beating only recently. How could this be? After all, Louise de Quengo had died over 300 years ago. The answer, it seemed, lay in the lead coffin itself. The lead had created an airtight seal, preventing decomposition and essentially halting time for Louise de Quengo's heart. It's a story that blurs the line between life and death, a testament to the strange and unexpected ways the past can reach out and touch us. Now let's journey back to ancient Rome, a time of gladiators, emperors, and, some rather interesting hygiene practices. You see, the Romans, for all their advancements in architecture, law, and warfare, had some peculiar ideas about beauty and fragrance. One of their most sought-after perfumes, gladiator sweat. Yes, you heard that right. The Romans believed that the sweat of these warriors, these gladiators who faced death in the arena, held magical properties. It was thought to be an aphrodisiac, a cure for ailments, and of course a rather pungent perfume. Imagine, if you will, wealthy Roman women attending the games, their noses held high, not in disgust but in anticipation, eager to collect the sweat of their favorite gladiators. It's a scene that's both hilarious and slightly disturbing, a reminder that what one culture finds appealing, another might find, well, a bit repulsive. From the gladiatorial arenas of Rome, we travel to the heart of Paris, to the iconic Eiffel Tower, a symbol of love, romance, and, as it turns out, thermal expansion. You see, the Eiffel Tower, that marvel of iron and engineering, isn't quite as static as you might think. Like all things, the Eiffel Tower is subject to the laws of physics, specifically the principle of thermal expansion. In simpler terms, when things get hot, they expand, and when things get cold, they contract. And the Eiffel Tower, being made of iron, is no exception. So, during the hot Parisian summers, the Eiffel Tower, basking in the sun's warmth, can actually grow. Not by much, mind you, but enough to be noticeable. Up to 6 inches taller than its winter stature. It's a subtle reminder that even the most seemingly permanent structures are in a constant state of flux, ever-changing, just like history itself. Let's take a quick trip across the English Channel to England, where we meet a rather intriguing monarch, King George I, a king who, ironically enough, couldn't speak a lick of English. You see, George I, born and raised in Germany, inherited the British throne in 1714. Now, you'd think that being the King of England would require, well, speaking English, but George I, bless his heart, never quite got around to learning the language of his subjects. He ruled for 13 years, conducting state affairs, attending meetings, and generally being king. all while speaking only German. Can you imagine the conversations? The poor translators, desperately trying to keep up with George III's German pronouncements. It's a testament to the strange quirks of history that a king who couldn't understand his people, or be understood by them, could rule for so long. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the realm of Cold War paranoia and some truly out-there ideas. During the height of the space race, the United States, locked in a fierce rivalry with the Soviet Union, hatched a plan so audacious, so unbelievably bizarre that it sounds like it came straight out of a science fiction movie. The plan? Detonate a nuclear bomb on the moon. Yes, you heard that right. The project, known as Project A-119, was conceived as the ultimate display of power, a way to intimidate the Soviets and show them who was boss of the cosmos. Thankfully, cooler heads prevailed, and the plan, which would have had disastrous consequences for, well, everyone, was scrapped. It's a chilling reminder of the lengths to which nations would go during the Cold War and the terrifying possibilities that lurked beneath the surface of that global standoff. From the depths of space, we return to Earth for a story about the shortest war in recorded history. In 1896, on the island of Zanzibar, a conflict erupted between Britain and the Sultan of Zanzibar. The cause? The Sultan refused to step down, much to the displeasure of the British Empire. The British, known for their, shall we say, direct approach to diplomacy, decided to settle the matter with a bit of gunboat diplomacy. At precisely 9 a.m. on August 27, 1896, British warships opened fire on the Sultan's palace. The bombardment lasted a grand total of 38 minutes, at which point the Sultan, realizing that discretion was the better part of valor, fled his palace, effectively ending the war. And there you have it, the shortest war in history, a testament to the fact that sometimes conflicts can be as brief as they are bizarre. Let's take a step back in time to ancient Rome, a civilization known for its impressive engineering feats made possible by a rather remarkable material, Roman concrete. The Romans, those masters of construction, created structures that have stood the test of time, enduring for thousands of years. Meanwhile, modern concrete structures built with all the advancements of modern science often crumble and crack within decades. So, what's the secret to Roman concrete's longevity? It turns out the Romans were onto something with their building materials. Recent studies have shown that Roman concrete, unlike its modern counterpart, actually gets stronger over time. The secret lies in the use of volcanic ash, which, when mixed with seawater, creates a concrete that can heal itself, filling in cracks and becoming more durable with age. It's a testament to the ingenuity of the Romans, and a reminder that sometimes the old ways are the best ways. And finally, we end our journey through history's weirdest moments with a war fought over something so mundane, so utterly ridiculous, that it's hard to believe it actually happened. In the 14th century, the Italian city-states of Bologna and Modena went to war. The prize? A humble wooden bucket, yes, you heard that right. The War of the Oaken Bucket, as it came to be known, was sparked by the theft of a bucket by Modenese soldiers from a well in Bologna. The Bolognese, outraged by this act of aggression, declared war, demanding the return of their beloved bucket. The war raged for years, with thousands of soldiers clashing over a simple bucket. In the end, Modena emerged victorious, keeping the bucket as a trophy, a symbol of their hard-fought victory. It's a story that proves that sometimes wars are fought over the silliest of things. A reminder that even in the annals of history, absurdity reigns supreme. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 bizarre history facts that prove that truth is often stranger than fiction. From emu warfare to moon nuking plans, history is full of surprises, reminding us that the past is a weird and wonderful place. If you enjoyed this trip down history's rabbit hole, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more mind-blowing content. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on our next historical adventure. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those history books open, because you never know what bizarre and wonderful facts you might uncover.